The U.S. has become a dumping ground for everybody else's problems. And these are the best and the finest. When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. But I speak to border guards, and they tell us what we're getting. And it only makes common sense. It only makes common sense. They're sending us not the right people. It's coming from more than Mexico. It's coming from all over South and Latin America, and it's coming probably from the Middle East. But we don't know, because we have no protection, and we have no competence. We don't know what's happening. And it's got to stop. And it's got to stop fast.
So Latinitas decided to do this documentary because we noticed that Latinos, and in particular Latinas, are not being represented on the screen or behind camera. There's only a few Latina actresses and even less Latina directors on mainstream media, and we felt like we needed to do something about it. According to the Media Diversity and Social Change Initiative report, up until 2015, Latinos made 17% of the U.S. population. That same year, only 2 of the 100 top films featured Latino characters with a speaking role. There was no Latino representation across 40 of these movies. Latinas were more likely to be represented as mothers than Asian and white women, and Latinos were more likely to be sexualized than any other race.
Who is that?
That's the yoga guy.
Damn.
Allow me to put on something more proper. Thank God. Now, who is ready for the yoga?
Come on, Coach. You gotta take that kid out.
You wanna take him out? How about I take you out?
Honey.
Why don't you worry about your son? He spent the first half with his hand in his pants.
It's all they can afford.
How's that my problem, amiga? I knew he wasn't Latino, but for some reason all these shady backdoor deals have me talking like Carlito. Beat it, ese.
Okay.
We got another notice from the fire department saying that we have to clear out the bush. You said you were going to get Jose to do it.
He's your gardener. Why you don't tell him?
Lucy, you know I don't speak Mexican.
I'm not a Mexican.
Great, what was that all about?
Lucy's from El Salvador.
So?
It's an entirely different country.
What does that matter?
Oh, no. Doggy out.
What?
Out, afuera.
I live here.
No, afuera.
But look, I'm trying.
Hola?
Yes, could you please put Brian back on?
No. Doggy afuera.
You're the new housekeeper, aren't you?
See,
Listen, I don't want to point fingers, but I'm missing about $1,000 in play money.
I take.
Something else that concerned us was the fact that news outlets, politicians, hate groups, they were using media to spread lies about Latinas and Latinos. So in essence, we created this documentary to provide an alternative narrative, a narrative that would highlight the accomplishments of Latinas instead of reinforcing stereotypes. Most than anything, we wanted to share the stories of the Latinas in El Paso in their own words.
Not accurate. Not accurate enough. I think there's not a good perspective of what we are because none of us fit in a box, right? We're all different. I think all of us that are here today are really different and we come from different walks of life, but we make up this really special type of people that are Latinas, right? And it's important because we have so much to offer to our communities, to our friends, to our social circles, but to people that don't know anything about our Latino culture, right? Or that don't know anything about our border life. I think that it's extra special and we really need to emphasize more on that, right? Living in El Paso and being on the border and everything that you've all individually gone through, I think has value too. I work for Las Americas Immigrant Advocacy Center. It's a nonprofit here in El Paso, and I'm an accredited representative, and I coordinate a program to help immigrant victims of crime and to help women educate our community about their rights. Yes, definitely. I think the media and the news has a really big role to play, but it also depends on the person and what they choose, where their news is coming from, right? I think that we can all tell a different story to let people know what we really experience, right? As Latinos, that we're not part of this stereotypical perspective that other people that don't live our lives understand. So I think that it's really important to us educate ourselves and make sure that we're getting proper news to actually be diverse and not fall into this rhetoric that's negative, right?
When my family decided to come to the United States, it took them about years to decide. They were never really sure. But my mom insisted that they wanted us to have a better future, a better education, better opportunities. So we came to the United States when I was 5 years old. We had a passport and we crossed and we just stayed here for a while. And I think that's the reason why my parents decided to come to the United States. It definitely does. I have heard, since our new president came in, I have a lot of clients, patients that come in saying, what's going to happen now? Like, what am I going to do? So we do see an increase in anxiety and depression. A lot of them, they become very anxious, like what's going to happen now? What is going to happen to my mom that doesn't have papers, or my tia, or my brother, or myself that I'm undocumented? So it's very scary for them, and we have to try to talk to them in the best possible way. We know what's going to happen or what the future holds, so we try to calm them down. I think influences a lot because it's our source of communication. It's the way that we are able to get information. So of course, if the media is telling us this is happening, what are we left to do then? To leave. But I think it is a negative. I think we're being portrayed a little bit negative this year coming. So hopefully we can do something.
Lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. But I speak to border guards, and they tell us what we're getting. And it only makes common sense. It only makes common sense. Our country is in serious trouble. We don't have victories anymore. We used to have victories, but we don't have them. When was the last time anybody saw us beating, let's say, China in a trade deal? They kill us. I beat China all the time. Very inexpensively. I will build a great, great wall on our southern border, and I will have Mexico pay for that wall. Mark my words. When do we beat Mexico at the border? They're laughing at us, at our stupidity. And now they're beating us economically. They are not our friend, believe me. But they're killing us economically.
When you hear this rhetoric, how does that make you feel?
Pain, in the sense that we are being attacked for a person that doesn't even know us is a person that really doesn't know what kind of people is coming. I mean, it's people that wants to become a better person, that want better opportunities. Obviously, that we're not coming here because we just want to. No, because we need to. We don't come here because it's an easy way to do it. No, it's even harder to be here as an immigrant. So the fact that he says things like that, it's very painful for us to even imagine that our president is saying these things about us, that he doesn't even know us personally.
It makes me sad that people in the background are cheering and that also agree with his ideologies and his perspectives that are really disconnected with the system and with the people.
Is Cinco de Mayo, the 5th of May, celebrating Mexican heritage and pride, and it commemorates the Mexican army over the French forces in the Battle of Puebla back in 1862. It's also an excuse to drink tequila on a Monday morning at work for Lewis.
Voting is a privilege in this country, and you need to be legal, not like California where 3 million illegals voted.
Let's talk about that.
I'm glad I brought that up, Allison.
Me too, Paula. So where are you getting your information?
From the media.
Immigration, specifically illegal immigration, impacts every single one of those aforementioned issues. Right now, our borders are a joke, an open, festering wound, and what do wounds attract? Maggots.
And the Mexican government is much smarter, much sharper, much more cunning, and they send the bad ones over because they don't want to pay for them, they don't want to take care of them. Why should they when the stupid leaders of the United States will do it for them? And that's what's happening, whether you like it or not.
I became a resident when I was 22, so that's 6 years ago. I haven't been a resident for that long. I mean, it's a whole life-changing experience, but you get to see and appreciate everything when you do become a resident, because you know the struggle, you know how hard it was to obtain that status, you know how hard it was beforehand when you didn't have that status. So we arrived in the United States back in 2003. I was 5 years old. My family basically came with nothing. We were living in a one-room house with a little kitchen and a little bathroom. And I mean, we came here when we had a passport, and we were able to travel back and forth because of that status. But we were never able to work or get benefits or get anything from the government. We're still hiding because we weren't allowed to live here. We were still living here and going to school and trying to make a life here. When I was 12, our passports got expired. So we were all here. We weren't able to go back to Mexico anymore. We decided to stick here because we were making a life here. So it was tough. Obviously, my dad didn't have papers. My mom didn't have papers. My dad was working, of course, at jobs, landscaping, doing things here and there. My mom was a stay-at-home mom of 5 kids. And it was tough in the sense that there was nowhere to turn. I mean, we were struggling. There was times that we will have to really just eat minimal stuff because we didn't have the money to feed all of us. And there was no way for us to say, oh, let's apply for food stamps or etc. And we weren't aware of all the services that I know of now and that we could have benefited from back then. So that was a struggle. That was very, very difficult for us.
That immigration is a human issue, that it's not an issue that there is extreme hardship and a little bit of hardship and there's no hardship and there's eligibility and now you got to wait 20 years in line and maybe you got to wait 6 years in line, and if you get caught between then you'll go away. It's not that easy. So I think that remembering that it's a human issue that has human consequences and human lives are affected, that has to always be something that policymakers and and our congressmen are always need to be grounded to remember that that's why they're there, to represent humans that are in their district, right? And that have lives that are being affected by these types of things.
So I went to college because I knew that I wanted to do something more than just high school. I knew, even though I didn't have papers at first, I still went ahead and said, I'm still going to go to school. Something is going to happen. I know it. I have a feeling that I need to go to school. So I decided to go to college, continue college. We have to pay out of pocket at first. And then I decided to choose my career in social work. So I have a bachelor's and a master's in social work. So I chose a career because as an immigrant, my whole life was not being able to ask for assistance, not being able to ask for help. We were going through issues, through a hardship, and we couldn't extend our hand to anybody because we thought, we were scared. We thought that if we went to anybody, we were gonna, be deported. So of course we were afraid to ask for an assistance. And once I started growing up, I started learning about all these services that I could have benefited from when I was a kid, a teenager, a high schooler. And I think that's why. No, I don't think. I know that's why. Because I want to be able to help others. I want to be able to say, I am able to help people that was in my situation when I was growing up.
Community in El Paso means exactly what I give back to it, everything. I think it makes who I am, and it makes my work meaningful.
Home. It's home. It's where I was raised. It's what I know. I feel comfortable. I know El Paso. I know the people in El Paso. It's a safe place. It's full of culture. So I'll say home.
My name is Aida Moreno. I am 12 years old, and I want to be an actress because when we were little, me and my friends would make plays, and I liked having fun.
My name's Evelyn Camarillo. I'm 16 years old, and I want to become a pediatrician because I think that pediatricians do a great job at keeping kids healthy and the new generation.
Hello, my name is Brianna Rosco. I'm 17 years old, and I want to become a graphic designer. I like advertisement and publicity and how to persuade people to think in a different way and actually to buy products.
Hello, my name is Alyssa Delgado. I am 12 years old, and I want to become a doctor to give back to my community and to become a role model for many people and many Latinas all over the world.
My name is Andrea Sandoval, and I am 13 years old. What I want to be is be a forensic pathologist. I like to explore, and I find it interesting to figure out how many things happen using evidence.
My name is Ali Hernandez, and I'm 13 years old. When I grow up, I want to be a psychologist to help people with problems and support them with whatever they're going through.
My name is Mara Moreno. I'm 15 years old. I would like to become a director when I grow up.
My advice for Latinas is to never give up on your dreams.
My advice to Latinas would be that we're strong and powerful and we can achieve great things.
I would like to tell Latinas and Latinos to never give up and to dream big.
My advice for Latinas is to strive to be the greatest person you could be, and you will.
My advice to Latinitas would be to never give up no matter the hardships.
My advice to Latinitas is to aim high and follow your dreams.
My advice to Latinas would be to never give up and don't listen to what other people say